What's going on, guys? Jerry here with another epic video. Today in this video, guys, I wanted to do kind of I had a few requests to this, so what I figured I would do kind of a beginner's guide and see what kind of thoughts and questions and then if you guys have about this particular video. But what I want to talk about today with you guys is how cards resolve and basically how to bait out your opponent. This is something you guys can see me do more live, so if you're interested in seeing me doing more of this and and maybe asking questions and stuff like that live, definitely consider checking out the live streams, guys. I live stream every Friday and Saturday. Usually around 8 to 8:30ish. I'll start the stream and I'll usually stream to 11 to about 12 a.m. in the mornings, Central Standard Time. So just consider checking that out if you guys would like to see me kind of go through this or answer some of your questions in the live. With that being said, guys, if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're almost at 600 subs as of this video. We're at 591. Also, it's showing 60% of our audience is not subscribed. So definitely consider on subscribing, guys. I greatly appreciate it. We're getting very close to closer and closer day by day by hitting the 1,000 subscribers. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive in, guys. So what I want to do is kind of go over like a simple breakdown, and then we'll kind of get into some we'll go into some examples. So like first example I kind of want to use is kind of like Call by the Grave versus like Ash, basically, is kind of to start the video, guys. So what happens, let's say we do, just with the hand that we have, right? Let's say we'll put it back in our opponent's hand. Let's say that we go, for example, we go Ovi, we'll activate Ovi's effect. Our opponent then activates Ash Blossom to negate our Overraptor's effect. So, right, Ash would then go to the graveyard for our opponent, and then what we could do, we could activate and chain to them activating Ash Blossom. Since our Call by the Grave is a quick play spell, we can activate it, and then that would banish it and negate it. But the reason I wanted to bring that up is kind of like a starter example, so you guys can kind of understand chains and how chains work in the game, as well as we're going kind of through this tutorial. So that's not only the fact that it negates the card, but also, right, this card gets priority over this card because, right, how chains resolve is basically whatever activates last activates first. So since they activated Ash first and we activated Call by the Grave second, our Call by the Grave will resolve first, and then Ash would resolve. So that's why, since we can our card effect negates Ash, that's why this resolves first, and then Ash is negated and removed from play. Just so you guys can understand how that interaction works. It's a very basic one that I wanted to do because it happens so common in the game, but I just want to make sure everyone understands why Called by the Grave negates Ash. Not just because that's its effect, but that's how the chain resolves. Is this activated second, so it activates first. This was activated first, so this would go last, but it doesn't get to activate since it's negated by Call by the Grave. With that being said, guys, let's go ahead and dive in. Let's do some more examples. We'll kind of keep the same hand to make it simple. So we'll go through some standard boards that you guys are accustomed to seeing in the game that happen a lot. So like, for example, good old Anaconda and Dragoon is a very common combo still to this day. I still think it's not that good of a combo. And this is the reason why I want to go over a few different ways you guys can play around stuff like this. And then we're going to amp it up. We're going to keep going through, and I'm going to make more advanced examples as we go through the video, guys. So this may be a little too easy for you. That's fine. Just kind of wait with me, or you can fast forward the video till I get to more of the more difficult ones if you want to see some more advanced ones as we go through. But let me know what your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. If you'd like me to do more advanced version, or maybe an alternative version of like cheaper cards, things like that, like a cheaper, something different for like Lightning Storm or something like that, for example. So let's say our opponent has, right, they have Anaconda and they have Dragoon. So when you guys are looking at these type of boards, right, they only have one, and they have, let's say they have, at least two cards in hand. We don't know what they are, right? For example, so right, they could have anything like Ash, Stroll, they could have Nibiru, anything like that. So you don't really know. So how we would go through this is we want to make sure we get rid of, and we want to kind of look at your hand. So to basically bait them out, you have to have a good hand to start with. So a lot of it goes back to make sure you're building your deck correctly, and you're doing test hands kind of like a boards like this, and imagining what you're playing against. That's what a lot of the times I'll do when I'm building my decks and testing them out before I even use them on like the stream or post videos on the channel. So what we can do, for example, guys, for this one, what I would try and do to bait them out is I would go Lost World first, right? Some people would negate that, some people wouldn't, which is fine, right? So maybe they do, maybe they don't. We'll say they don't to make it even more difficult. So then we're going to go Fossil Dig. So at this point, they're going to negate it either by Ash Blossom if they have Ash in their hand, or they're going to use Dragoon's effect when you go Fossil Dig. Because they know by you getting that and that on the field, you have combo. So if you don't already have Overraptor in your hand, you're going to pull Overraptor. So they know they have to stop this card. So it's going to get negated whether they have Ash or they have to use Dragoon. We'll just say they have to use Dragoon to make this one a very easy example. So what we would then do after that, guys, then we could go... then we would just summon out our Overraptor, and then at this point, right, we have our combo. So that way we were able to bluff through our opponent, you know, to get with it. We can just go through, use his effect, you know, pull like Mist to our hand, for example, and then we would be able to go from there. But let's do another one. That was kind of a very quick and easy one that I just wanted to do real quick. Let's do a more advanced. We'll keep the same hand. We'll actually keep the same, we'll actually keep the board, but we'll kind of rev it up a little bit. We'll give them, this time, guys, we'll give them an Appaloosa, and we'll give them a Solemn Judgment, too. We'll pretend that's, where you guys can kind of see it on camera face down, like as well. So we'll kind of give them that, and we'll do kind of basically the same thing again. So, with the same hand. So what we'll do here to start out, guys, we'll start with Lightning Storm this time, right? Because what we want to do with their board like this, right, they've got, we'll say they have 3 cards in hand, we don't know what it is. They've got 1 back row, at least, maybe more. We'll say in this example, they just have the 1. And they have, we'll say Appaloosa has, we'll say, you know, 3 negates, right? So Appaloosa has at least 3 negates, and they have Dragoon that's got an Omni negate. And they've got a back row that we don't know. In this case, it's, you know, we know, for example, we know it's Solemn Judgment. So what we would do is I would start with Lightning Storm. Whether this resolves or not is fine, right? At this point, we're wanting to get rid of mostly their... Because when you're going through and you're baiting out your opponent, the big thing you guys want to get rid of are like these Omni negates. Like if they have Judgment, we want them to play Judgment. If they have Dragoon, or if they have, you know, Borla, we want them to get rid of these Omni negates because they stop us from being able to combo around them. Makes it a little bit more difficult. More than normal. So I would go Lightning Storm. They're obviously going to negate it. So at this point, they're forced to use Dragoon. They'll have to get rid of one of the cards out of their hand. So now our opponent's left with 2 cards. So we'll go ahead and, right, because we want to destroy all their monsters. They want the Appaloosa to stay alive, so that's going to go. So that'll go to our graveyard. So then the next thing we would do is we would go Lost World. They're going to let that resolve. I don't see anyone playing Solemn Judgment on that. So then the next part is where you would get into where we would go like Fossil Dig, right? We would activate our Fossil Dig at this point to pull like Mist to our hand, for example. So now at this point, depending on the person, right, if they have Ash, they'll play Ash. If they want to play the Solemn Judgment, they may go for Solemn Judgment at this point. So a lot of them probably people would negate that, you know, kind of one way or the other. We'll say they try and go Ash. For the example, right, they go Ash Blossom, another card out of their hand gone. We go Call by the Grave. And let's say maybe they want to go risky and they go Solemn Judgment, right? Because they really don't want us getting Overraptor, right? So they'll go Solemn, get rid of that, pay half their life points. Because that, right, that leaves us 2 cards in hand, so that's not too bad as far as a strategy move. So that's fine. So then what we would do then, guys, at this point, now that we've got them right where we want them, now we go Overraptor. Now Overraptor effect is going to activate. So when you summon them out, also Lost World's going to activate. So what you want to make sure you do is go Chain Link 1 and Chain Link 2. So this way Overraptor will resolve and you'll get the token by doing this, guys. So they'll get the little token. So that way they can't negate your chain blocking them from negating Overraptor, because they can only respond to what happened last in the chain, so which would be your Lost World. So that keeps them from stopping that. So then we can go and pull, like for example, let me find it. I had it over here a second ago. We can pull our Mist to our hand. And then what we can do, guys, as soon as Mist gets at it, we can go Miss. And of course they're going to negate it, right? So as soon as they go to negate it with Appaloosa, then you activate your, in this case we have our Effect Veiler, right? So we go Effect Veiler, we'll chain to negate Appaloosa. So now Appaloosa is now negated for the rest of the turn. And also that means our miss went through, so now our dinos are protected, so now they can't play the Nibiru they have in their hand. Now we can essentially go, full combo as well. So we can go in and go OV, destroy that, to destroy one of the babies in the deck. Right. Get rid of one of the babies. So now baby would go to the graveyard, for example, and then we could special summon, whatever else we want to hit the field. So if we wanted to do, I would just bring out probably another baby is going to be the smart thing to do here. So we bring out like another baby, for example, and then what you can do is now remove miss from play. So miss is going to be removed from play, and then now you can bring out your, and this could be any deck, guys, that you're using. It doesn't have to be dinos. I forgot to mention in the video, but basically what you're doing, your deck would just go through and do whatever combo plays that you have, essentially, right? It doesn't have to be dinos. I just use dinos because it was very easy. It's a very easy deck to understand. So then Armored Arm would hit. He would pop, right? We would pop the baby. The baby would go to graveyard. Then we would pull Pill to our hand. And then what we would also do is we'd get to bring out another card. So then what we would do is special summon out. There's a few different things you could special summon out. So I probably would go Rex, because Rex makes the most sense in this situation, so we'd go Rex. And bam. So then at this point, what we can do, guys, after that, then we could go, because we've got 2 dinos in that, so then we could easily go Pill from just the Pill that we added to our hand. And then we have to reactivate Pill, right? We'll move one of the babies from play and the effect veiler we got rid of earlier to bring out, right, good old Conductor. And then you could go ahead and just use Conductor's effect if you want to. We could still attack into it, depending on if it's already got extra attack or not. I would say we have to use his effect, right? We'll smash Armored On. He's going to die anyway at the end of the turn anyway. So we'll go ahead and get rid of him. That's fine. And then rest of our opponent's monsters, just that basically will go face down. And then what we can do from here, guys, we'll just attack into everything. Since her effect is negated, she's a 0, by the way. So since she's negated, she's a complete 0 now. So we attack into her, they're going to take 35. So we'll attack with Conductor, they'll take 1,000. We'll attack into Appaloosa, they'll take 35, so that's 45. Attack with Conductor again, they'll take another 30. Alright, sorry about that, guys. The camera ran out of space. I had to go clean that up. But where we're finishing, right, Conductor was attacking. We basically attack that token, they take the 1,000. That would be game. So that's essentially how we went through and we baited out our opponents through their cards, and we were able to overcome them. Hopefully you guys like this idea. I just want to do kind of a basic tutorial. Let me know if you guys would like to see more content like this. I could always try and pull some of my, where I've done this live on the live streams and just cut out the audio and just do new audio and explain why I'm doing the moves and why I'm able to break my opponent's board. Let me know if that's something you guys may be interested in, or maybe you'd like. Let me know what your guys' thoughts on this video. I thought this was a good introduction to showing you how to. This could be yet again any deck, guys. It doesn't have necessarily be dinos. Right, basically you just would go through and do your combo plays. But I just wanted to do the dinos because it's an easy example and most people know how the dinos work, so that's why I did that. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, please make sure you like the video. I really appreciate it a lot. If you have any questions, post them down below. Or if there's any other content you guys like to see, post that down below. I appreciate your love and support, and if you guys made it to the end of the video, I would greatly appreciate it like always. And that'll do it for this video, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.